Hello, Abdullah. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Fine, Alhamdulillah. Abdullah,
Alhamdulillah.
are you group D3 or B2?
No, D3.
You're you mean B2?
No, D3.
D3, okay. Okay, I
Mm.
can hear you now. Okay, very good. So, do you log on e-learning? Because I write so many things and instructions on e-learning. Are you following the e-learning?
Oh, yes, I am.
Very good, very good.
Mm.
Excellent. Excellent. Just give me a couple of minutes because I'm just downloading something and I'll get back to you, okay?
Okay, no problem. Take your time.
No, actually, I didn't open the e-learning.
Why not? Who's this? Hello? Can you hear me? Muhammad? Muhammad, are you still there? Muhammad? I can
Yes.
see. Yeah, I can see. Why you are not following the e-learning?
I did have bad network issues last week, so I didn't open the
Okay,
e-learning at all.
please open the e-learning because all the recorded PowerPoints that have all the instructions and all the details for the final essay are uploaded on e-learning. So you need to,
Oh,
we meet here in class, but at the same time, you need to log on e-learning because I write so many instructions and you know about the deadlines and you know about the recorded PowerPoints and they are classified into types. You know that we have the cause and effect essay and the
yeah.
problem solution essay, and each one of them has documents and the documents are uploaded on e-learning. So please make sure that you log on e-learning regularly. Okay?
Okay, doctor, I'll make sure to do that. Okay.
Okay, very good. Very good. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'm downloading something. I'll get back to you. Don't worry.
Okay, okay. Take your time, doctor.
Thank you. بحاول ميلي بحاول اجيب الدوكيمنت من الميل.
نزل حاجة.
Okay, I'm back again. I'm sorry for this. My computer failed me the last minute, and it started to update things, so I had to log on from a different device. I'm really sorry. Anyways, can you hear me clearly?
Yes.
Very good, very well. Now, who is here from group D3?
I am.
Aya Rafat?
Ayatullah
Yes.
and Abdullah?
Yes.
Who is there someone else here from D3? Just Aya and Abdullah. I can see that. What happened to the rest of the group? They never show up. Do you have any idea?
No.
But you receive my messages on the chat room, right? You received that.
Yes.
Very good. And please log on e-learning as much as possible, as regularly as possible, okay? Because this is very important.
Okay.
Okay. For the rest of us who are present today, I just want to tell you that the university insists that we have our classes during the usual class time. So next time on Sunday, inshallah, we will be meeting at 11 a.m.
Yes, okay, no problem.
Okay, very good. So we'll be meeting Sundays and Tuesdays at 11 a.m. for all of us.
طب ده ليه؟
Sorry?
ليه؟
Because the university insists that we have the classes at the usual time of the class.
Okay.
We've been talking about that during the week, and they insist that we should have it because they don't want classes to overlap.
بس احنا كان مثلا يعني كان بالنسبة لنا مثلا ده أحسن، ما ينفعش إن احنا نقول لهم كده.
I'm sorry, Rehan. I really honestly, yeah, they insist on having it at the class time. I'm really sorry.
Okay.
But you know that you can always email me, and you can always leave a question on the chat room, and I will respond to your queries. No problem about that. Okay. Okay. Today I want to talk about two important things. The first thing is that the feedback on your literature review essays. I finished all the literature review essays for group B2, and I'm still working on group D3. So for B2, you can log on Turnitin, check your mark, and check feedback. You will find the feedback on your paper in the form of bubbles. Click on the bubbles and you will find feedback next to the part that wants to be fixed, okay? Is this clear for us?
Okay.
Okay, very good.
تمام يا دكتور.
Okay, very good. So now about feedback, I noticed the following for most of the essays that I marked. This is something that happens very often. If we talk about the introduction, one of the problems of the introduction is the hook. And I advised you before that the best way to introduce your topic is by giving it a definition. So start your academic essay usually instead of paraphrasing the definition of the topic, please try to quote it. Quoting in this case is better than paraphrase. So start by
دكتور ممكن
that defines the topic.
ممكن تعيدي الكلام تاني لأن عمال يقطع ما سمعتش.
Okay, okay, no problem at all. I understand. Okay, I'm now giving feedback about your essays, your literature review essays, which is very similar to what you're going to have in your final essay. So one of the things that I noticed about your essays for all the group, I mean, for the two groups, is that people start defining the topic by paraphrasing the topic. The best way to do it is to quote a definition, a formal definition for the topic. For example, you're talking about AI or environmental engineering or the Internet of Things, start by giving a definition for the Internet of Things from one of the sources, for example, and quote the definition. So you quote the definition after you put the definition, and you as in brackets, you put the author's last name and year of publication. And of course, if you're quoting the definition, you need to have the definition between quotation marks. Is this clear?
اوكي ما بعملوش ما بشرحلوش ما
Paraphrase.
بعملش explanation.
No, the best thing to do is to quote the definition as is, and then you explain it.
Okay.
Okay? So this is the best hook you can have. And instead of starting the essay with, do you know that Internet of Things is one of the hot topic these days? This is not academic. The best way to start an academic essay, as I said before, is to define the topic. This is number one thing for the introduction. I noticed also that we still have problems with the thesis statement. For group B2, I responded to your topic sentences on Turnitin, and you can check my response on Turnitin. Okay? Now, what's wrong with the thesis statement? I still have people writing, for example, artificial intelligence has so many advantages, yet it has still drawbacks. This is not a thesis statement. Do you know why? Why do you think this is not a thesis statement?
مفيش controlling ideas.
Exactly. This is too general. This is too broad. You mentioned nothing. You just said that it has advantages and disadvantages, or it has negative side and positive side, or it has benefits and drawbacks, which is not a thesis statement. Try to avoid this in your thesis statement altogether. What you want to do is to focus on on 2 or 3 controlling ideas. For example, you can say artificial intelligence performs advanced tasks and saves time. However, it lacks creativity and emotions. So here, if you look at this sentence, you will find that you have 4 controlling ideas. The first idea is that it performs advanced tasks. The second idea is that it saves time. The third idea is that it lacks creation. And the fourth idea is it has no emotions. So each body paragraph is going to tackle one idea of those, one controlling idea. Why do I tell you that the thesis statement is important? Because without the thesis statement, you will not have an essay. In order to write a good academic essay, you have to build on a thesis statement. This is why it's very crucial that you have a correct thesis statement. This is why I insist that you send me your thesis statements for the final, even if you miss the deadline for submitting the thesis statement for the draft introduction submitted on Turnitin. You can still send me your thesis statement via mail, and I would reply to you to tell you whether it's a correct thesis statement or not. Is this clear?
Okay.
Okay, very good. So we need to do what? We need to focus on our thesis statements. We don't want our thesis statements to look broad and general. We need to have a particular idea, or actually 2 ideas or 3 ideas that we focus on in our thesis statements. One of the problems that I also found in your literature review essays is in the introduction part. We agreed that before the thesis statement, you have the choice between 2 things. You can either put it before the thesis statement or after the thesis statement. You have to state the sources that you used. For example, you would say this literature review analyzes the following sources, and you write the full name of the author for the first source, and between brackets the year of publication, and then the title of the article, and give a sentence or 2 very briefly that describes the source. This is an important step in any introduction. So in your final introduction, you're going to do the same thing. In your final essay, in your final cause and effect or problem solution essay, you need to do the same thing for the introduction. You start with defining the topic, giving background history of the topic very, very briefly, then a thesis statement and a statement of sources, or vice versa, a statement of sources and then thesis statement. This is a structure that you must follow. You see, this is a standard thing for academic writing. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay.
دكتور سؤال معلش.
Go ahead. Yes.
هو حضرتك خلاص literature review بتاعت B2. طيب هو الدرجات لسه ما نزلتش صح؟
لا, it's there. You can find it next. If you open Turnitin, you will find your mark on the front page next to the similarity percentage. And if you open your essay itself, click on the bubbles. You will find a detailed bubble with the mark for each component. You will find something called task achievement, introduction, body, conclusion, synthesis, and so on for each of the parts of the essay and your mark in it. And the mark is out of 20.
Okay, تمام.
Okay?
Okay.
Very good. So for the introduction part, those are the components that you need to have in your introduction parts for either the cause and effect essay, for the problem solution essay, and I noticed problems in your literature review that I want to give feedback on, the same thing. Now let's move to the body paragraph. What I noticed in your body paragraphs, I have people writing good body paragraphs, but they lack two important things. First of all, they lack a clear topic sentence. Do you know what's a topic sentence? What's a topic sentence? Yes, what's a topic sentence?
المفروض اللي بنشرح فيها اللي هنقوله في البادي باراجراف بس باختصار.
Exactly, very good. So when I say, for example, that artificial intelligence performs advanced tasks, would you consider this a topic sentence?
لا.
Yes, it is. Actually, it is. Why not?
brief قوي زيادة.
Sorry?
brief زيادة يعني قليلة قوي.
It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be long. The thing is, it's not a thesis statement. Remember, Rehan, the thesis statement is for the whole essay. The topic sentence is just for the paragraph.
Okay, I understand that.
So it talks about this paragraph in particular. This paragraph is going to talk about, for example, in artificial intelligence and how it saves time, or how it performs advanced tasks. So
okay.
you don't need to write anything about it more than that. Once you have a topic sentence, then you start explaining your topic sentence. But you have to have a topic sentence first.
Okay.
So one of the problems that I noticed in your literature reviews in general is that you still don't have clear topic sentences. I have paragraphs that start with, for example, artificial intelligence has advantages, and it has advantages in the fields of education, in the field of healthcare, in the field of transportation. Borona, for example, 2016 describes so on. Where's the topic sentence here? It has no focus. Do you get my point? If you compare what I just said to artificial intelligence saves time, you will find the difference. Artificial intelligence saves time is a clear topic sentence that focuses on one idea only. Is this clear?
Okay.
Is everybody here hearing me clearly?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm hearing you clearly.
Very good. Excellent. So we need to have a clear topic sentence that is focused on one idea, just one idea. When I say, for example, artificial intelligence saves time and full stop, this is a topic sentence. Then after that, I can explain what I mean by it saves times. Here I can say, for example, as described or as stressed in Borona 2016, the author explains how, for example, how artificial intelligence saves time, and I keep explaining through the source, you see? So this is one problem. The other problem that I noticed in your body paragraphs is that I have people who did not do any in-text citations in their paragraphs. They wrote very nice paragraphs, but without in-text citations. I mean, they never quoted anything. They never paraphrased from a source. Do you know what's the problem with that?
المفروض في literature review من الأكاديميك ستايل إن إحنا نعمل citation.
Exactly. And what about your final essay?
برضه same.
Same thing, exactly, very good. So you cannot have a paragraph, a body paragraph without citations. How many citations are you allowed to have in a paragraph?
1.
Are you sure?
في كل paragraph maximum 1.
Maximum 1 quotation, but not one citation.
citation.
That's the difference. So I need at least how many citations in a paragraph?
minimum 2
Yes.
لأن أنا بعمل compare بين 2 sources.
Exactly. You have to have 2 sources at least in your body paragraph. I have read essays with no citations at all, which means that it doesn't refer to any sources at all. Is this synthesis?
No.
No, of course not. Synthesis is all about what? It is all about comparing and contrasting sources. So I have to do what? I have to include a minimum of 2 sources in any body paragraph. I'm allowed to quote only once, but I'm allowed to paraphrase 3 times, 4 times in a paragraph from different sources. From different sources. The problem is, the second problem I noticed about the body paragraphs is that people include a paraphrase from a source, and then they include another paraphrase from the same source in the same paragraph. Would this be considered synthesis? You tell me.
معلش تاني عشان سرحت.
Okay, if you have a paragraph and you have a paraphrase from source, for example, let's say X, and then a couple of sentences and another paraphrase from the same source X, and then you end your paragraph.
لا لازم source تاني كده ما عملتش compare بين 2 sources.
Exactly. This integration, but not synthesis. Integration, when you integrate a source into your paragraph, when you paraphrase a source or quote a source or quote from a source in a paragraph. But this is not synthesis. Synthesis, again and again and again, it has to be a comparison between 2 or 3 sources, two sources minimum, 3 sources preferably. So your paragraph should have more than 1 source. You cannot depend on 1 source for your paragraph. You have to vary sources, to have more than 1 source in your paragraph. Is this clear for all of us?
Yes.
Very good. Excellent. Now, conclusion part. And in your final essay as well, you are required to do what in your conclusion paragraph? Can someone explain this to me? What do you want to do in a conclusion paragraph?
sum up ideas كلها اللي عملتها بس باختصار.
أيوة.
وبكتب حل أو أي اقتراح يعني، صح؟
Exactly. So what we do is that we have to sum up all the ideas that we already discussed in the body paragraphs. And another important point, repeat the thesis statement in different words. You can still have the same thesis statement that you had in your introduction paragraph, but in different words. Repeat it in different words.
Okay.
Just a minute. And repeat it in different words. Are we still there? Are
Yes.
you... Oh, sorry for the glitching. I'm sorry. Are we still together?
Yes.
Okay, because there's something wrong with the connection. I'm sorry, it's really weak. But anyways, the thing is that in your final paragraph, in your final essay for the conclusion paragraph, you are required to write a call for action. What's a call for action? You are required to call people to get interested in this topic and do some analysis and some research regarding this topic, or to take it into consideration and try to find solutions for the problem, or try to avoid, for example, the negative effects of the problem or whatever. In the literature review, you were required to write a research question. Some of you did and some did not. Some did not write their research questions. And that was a mistake in the literature review. You have to end with a research question. The last point that I want to talk about regarding the feedback for the literature review is the formality thing. You're still not using formal language. And I uploaded, and that was a long time ago, and it is still there. I uploaded a document called BOE style sheet on e-learning. I want you to go back to this style sheet, to this document. You will find it probably posted on week 4 or 5. And I think I will post it again on week 9, because this document tells you what to avoid, the informal language that you should not be that you should be avoiding in your academic essay. For example,
زي ما ينفعش استخدم اللي هي phrasal verbs والكلام ده و isn't تكتب is
Yes.
not وال
yes, exactly.
هو ده؟
Yes, exactly. Yes. And we still have a problem with using personal nouns. I still have people writing in the middle of their essays, I think you should do this, or we all are going to help us, to help each other. We don't have those personal nouns in academic essays, in research papers. What do we have instead? What's the alternative?
ممكن مثلا بدل we ممكن people. لو بتكلم عن حاجة معينة مثلا بخصص الحاجة يعني بشوف الحاجة اللي أنا بتكلم عنها بس بشوف حاجة عام يعني مصطلح عام ليه.
Yes, or we can use the passive voice, remember?
Yes.
It is believed that so and so, it could be considered.
Yes.
Remember that? We don't want,
Yes.
I don't want to see I, we, or you anymore, or us. This is not academic. Okay, this is not okay, because you lose marks for these things, which you can easily avoid. Okay? Okay. So this is so far for the feedback, and each one of you will have, you can check your personal detailed feedback on your paper for group B2, and for group D3, I'm still working on it. Once I'm finished, I'm going to notify you on e-learning.
Okay. معلش. أنا فاتح دلوقتي من التورنت اللي قدامي. وكانت يعني دوست على فيو اللي هي عشان اشوف البابلز والكلام ده. كاتب لي فوق حته فاضيه اوفر 0. فده بلاجيريزم ولا ايه بالظبط؟
I need to check that, Mohammed. Okay, I will check that after I finish, because I don't want to miss the class.
ماشي، مش قصدي، انا بس بسأل هو ده بلاجيريزم ولا لا.
No.
اوكي تمام. هو انا شفت انا في يعني الحاجه متصححه لي تمام، ومن ضمن الحاجات اللي قلت فيها ان انا مش عارف اللي هو اي او كتبت وي او اي حاجه كده. ففهمت يعني الحاجات الغلط اللي عندي.
Okay.
بس الفكره ان ما عنديش الجريد او المارك.
You don't have the mark?
ممكن اصورها لحضرتك عامه او افتح الكاميرا.
Okay, no, I'll check that again, but I'm sure that I left the mark on the paper itself.
هو انا جربت كل حاجه وفتحت كل حاجه مش.
And there are bubbles that have the detailed description of the mark for the task achievement, how much did you get for the introduction and for the body paragraphs. There is a bubble for that.
اي حاجه، مفيش كل الكلام ده.
Okay, I'll see that once I'm finished. Okay, I'll check that again.
Okay, شكرا دكتور.
Okay. Now today I want to talk. Do we have any questions before I move to something else? Do you have any questions concerning the feedback?
لا، ممكن بس حضرتك تبقي تقولي ازاي نعمل state للsources بس بقى للفاينل essay.
For the final essay, in the introduction paragraph, before, you have the choice between two things. Either you put it before the thesis statement and the thesis statement is going to be the very last line in your introduction, or you can put the thesis statement first and then the statement of sources, and they will be the last lines of your introduction. So how are you going to introduce the sources? You can say, for example, this essay depends on the following sources for analysis and investigation, and you put colon, and then you mention source 1, for example, let's say Jayton Borana 2016, and you mention the title of the work, Artificial Intelligence and Applications, for example, and then you say, and the source focuses on the applications of artificial intelligence, then comma, you mention the second source, and so on.
Okay. تمام.
Okay?
تمام.
Did you check the sample for the cause and effect and the problem solution essay posted on e-learning on week 7?
week 7 اظن شفته بس انا شفت
Yes.
problem and solution بس يعني.
Please check the samples. If you are doing a problem solution, you have a sample for that. If you are doing cause and effect, you have another sample for that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Very good. Do we have any questions concerning the feedback before I move to something else?
دكتور معلش أنا عندي سؤال، هو الرينج بتاع الكلمات ممكن حضرتك تقوليها تاني عشان المرة اللي فاتت النت عندي كان ضعيف؟
For the final? Yes, it's 1200 words.
أيوة حضرتك المرة اللي فاتت اتكلمتي in detail بقى الانترودكشن وكده كل حاجة كام كلمة؟
Like the introduction should be like 200, maximum 300 words. And the rest, the core, the biggest part is your body paragraphs, and you leave another 200 for the conclusion.
تمام.
Okay?
طب هو هيحصل حاجة لو الانترودكشن زادت مني شوية مثلا؟
No, not really. The thing is that you are within range. I said before that the 1200, it's accepted that it is less by 100 or it is more by 100, which is okay.
Okay. Oh.
Are you still there? Still glitching. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Hello, are we still there? Okay.
Yes.
So 100 more is okay, 100 less is okay for the total, not including the references.
Okay. والتايتل صح؟ ولا ده ملهوش تايتل؟
It has a title. I was just going to tell you about the final. I need you to have a cover page before you start your a cover page.
دكتور هو بيقطع كتير بس.
You as a cover page. Okay? Are we still there?
هو احنا موجودين بس ما سمعناش اللي فات يعني كان مقطع
Okay. The thing is, I want you to write a cover page for your final essay.
اوكي انا عملت كده في literature review اعمل زيها يعني؟
Yes, exactly. Yes, your name, the title of your essay, and your ID.
Okay.
After you finish the cover page, you start your essay. And please don't write subtitles for your essay, because I found people in the literature review having the subtitle introduction, the subtitle body, and the subtitle conclusion. No, you just write it one shot, but divide it into paragraphs. I don't want the subtitles.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Very good. And now for the, I'm going to move to today's important point. I'm going to talk about the sample solution, paragraph. I'm going to share it on the screen now, and I want you to tell me if you can see it on the screen or not. Okay, I'm just sharing. Wait a second, please. Okay, can you see the sample solution paragraph? A PowerPoint with sample solution paragraph on the screen?
ثانية لسه بيحمل يا دكتور.
Okay. Once you get the sample on the screen, please tell me that you can see it on the screen.
حاضر ماشي.
Can you see the sample?
لا لسه ما طلعتش حاجة.
Is it loading?
لا برضه عندي.
No.
I have nothing loading.
It should be there. I'm trying. Sorry, I'm trying to share it on the screen so that you can see it.
النت بس ضعيف شوية عند حد أو عندنا كلنا.
Yeah, I know. There's something wrong today. It's glitching.
لا عادي ده احنا كل يوم.
I know, wallahi, because it's windy today. I don't know. So how are things going in general?
في الغالب بيبقى على الكل.
Okay. And what about the rest of your classes? Are you doing well in the rest of your classes?
هو كله عارف يا دكتور إنه عادي.
No, I'm talking about something else. I'm just asking about your classes, the other modules. Are you...
لا احنا بنبقى برضه قليلين.
Sorry?
بنبقى قليلين.
It's
يعني
okay.
الليكتشر اللي بيبقى فيها 4 جروبس بيبقى فيها 20 واحد ماكسيموم يعني.
Oh my God.
ففي كله يعني.
I know. Some people just disconnected themselves from everything.
والله يا دكتور يعني كل واحد أدرى بمصلحته يعني.
I know. But you still can't see the PowerPoint.
لا لسه.
Oh my God. Is this for all of us?
عندي أنا كمان.
Oh my God. I'm just trying to.
طب لو كده ممكن مثلا لو احنا نفتحها من عندنا عادي مش هتفرق. احنا كده كده قليلين
trying
يعني.
to think of something now. I'm trying to send it as an attachment on the chat room and you can then download it.
ماشي.
What do you think?
هو عندي فتحة.
ظهرت خلاص.
Alhamdulillah. This is what do you need to write a proper solution body paragraph? You have the 3 circles slide. Hello.
Yes ظهر خلاص.
Okay, you have the three circles. Can you see the 3 circles on the screen?
Yes.
Very good.
Explain
so
the
now
solution.
Yes, you have to explain the solution. What does that mean? And then state the advantages and give evidence. Now, for a body paragraph, for a problem solution essay, the body paragraph, it is important to start with a topic sentence, which is going to be your solution. For example, you can say that if your solution for the problem of artificial intelligence increasing the rates of unemployment, for example, this is the problem. The solution for this problem, for example, could be providing workers with a new set skills, a skill set, with a new skill set.
Or alternative jobs.
Or alternative jobs. Very good. Excellent. So this is the solution. But then it's not enough to say providing workers with alternative jobs. You need to explain that solution and state the advantages of that solution and give evidence from the sources that would support that solution. Let's look here at the next slide. It explains things better. It's like a checklist. I'm going to show you now a checklist, and the checklist is going to be very helpful for you when you're writing your problem solution body paragraph. For example, you have the topic sentence, contains the main idea of the paragraph, whether it's a cause or effect or solution, evidence, support, proof for the topic sentence, quotes, paraphrases, or summary from a source. Then the analysis of that source. Analysis means that you are commenting on the source, explaining it, and making inferences about it. And the concluding sentence. Of course, remember that evidence here is not just from one source. Evidence is at least from two sources together. You compare and contrast two sources. And this is why you have to use transitions. Transition words is one of the things that people are still not using properly. And I saw that in your literature review essays. People state the sources, and then they take evidence from the source. They take evidence from source 1 and evidence from source 2 without showing any transition words between the sources. Remember, I said before that the transition words are the words that show us the relationships between the sources. So whenever you use however, for example, you are showing disagreement. Whenever you use moreover or in addition to, you are showing agreement. And this is part of the things you are graded for. So you need to be aware that your body paragraph has transition words. I'm going to show you now a sample for a body paragraph. Let's read it together and I will show you what do I mean. Are we following?
Yes.
Okay, very good, excellent. Now, firstly, tissue engineering is an alternative to animal testing, for it uses a 3D skin equivalent that is physiologically comparable to skin. This is a solution for people who are against animal testing. So the problem here is about animal testing, and they are suggesting the solution of tissue engineering instead of animal testing. Now let's look how this person, how the writer of this paragraph explains to his readers what he or she means by the tissue engineering. According to Murching, ETAL, remember ETAL means that? What does ETAL mean?
إنه في authors تانيين معاه.
في أكتر من
author. More than 3 authors. If you have 3 authors for the same source, then you have all their names. If you have 3 authors, then it's ETAL. ETAL 2008, it investigates wound healing, melanomas research, infection biology, analysis of infection, invasion of different pathological microorganisms, and immunological, histological, and molecular biological analysis. You see here, he is explaining the source. Implementing this solution may ensure treatments that are more suitable for human skin. In addition, even though animals are subjects for vaccine success for human diseases, some researchers have begun to rely only on human data, cells, and tissue. In fact, researchers have set up a surrogate in vitro human immune system to help predict an individual's immune response to certain drugs and vaccines. This test has been compared with data from animal experimentation and has proven to produce more accurate preclinical data. And between brackets, we have Ferdowswain and Beck 2011. This is the second source. So here you have 2 sources, Murching 2008 and Beck 2011. And in between the 2 sources, what do we have? We have a transition word like in addition and we have the explanation of the 2 sources. And how does the paragraph end? This is very important because I also noticed this in your literature review essays. people just mention 2 sources and they never end their paragraph. You have to have a concluding sentence that ends the paragraph and comments on the sources. Let's look at the concluding sentence here. For example, based on the above pieces of evidence, alternative ways to test treatments are possible and could even be better. Testing on animals unavoidable. Like could ever be better than testing on animals, which is unavoidable. Can you see here the paragraph? Can you tell me, do we have any problems with this paragraph?
No.
No, why not? Can you analyze the paragraph for me? What does it start with?
عملنا topic sentence.
Yes.
وبعدين حطينا الايديز وعملنا لها explanation بتاع 2 sources. وفي الاخر حطينا ال conclusion وفي النص عملنا
في transition word.
Exactly. So this is how your paragraph should look like. By the way, this same PowerPoint is recorded on e-learning. This is why I tell you, please log on e-learning. It's very important because it has all the documents that we share here and more. Okay? It's always a good reference to you. Okay, very good.
Okay.
Now, what do we have more? On this slide, we are analyzing the paragraph, as we said. I'm going to show you the analysis of the paragraph. You see here, firstly, tissue engineering is an alternative to animal testing, for it uses a 3D skin equivalent that is physiologically comparable to skin. This is a topic sentence, and then according to, this is a lead-in phrase, with Merching ETAL and 2008, this is the documentation or the in-text citation of the source, then the explanation of the source, and then in addition, a transition word that marks the beginning of another source. Here we have all the source up till the brackets, Beck 2011, and the blue part based on the above pieces, this is the concluding sentence. So this is how we have a complete paragraph that starts with a topic sentence, then moves to a source, explains the source, then a transition word, then a second source, explain the second source, and a concluding sentence. Do we have any questions concerning that?
No.
Very good. Now on the coming slide, you will see the order of things. The topic sentence, the transitions, the lead-in phrases, the student's voice. The student's voice means your explanation, your analysis, the in-text citation, and the concluding sentence. This is very important. So this is how a body paragraph looks like in a problem solution essay. And in a cause and effect essay, it's very similar. It's the same structure, but with a different content. Do we have any questions or something that is not clear?
No.
Very good. Now I would really like to know on which part of the process of your writing now you are in. You submitted your thesis statement on Turnitin. You submitted your sources. Now what are you doing with the rest of the paper?
بندور بقى على sources.
For the final. Yes, I'm talking about the final.
بندور على sources بقى. هو ده السؤال ولا
هو
جاوبت حاجة تانية؟
لو انا معايا السورسز هبدأ اكتب الفاينل essay.
Yes, the thing is that for next week I'm planning you for you to submit an outline of a body paragraph. You don't have to write the body paragraph, but at least an outline of it, which means that I want to know, for example, one of your body paragraphs, the topic sentence for it, what is the evidence that you have, the source, the name of the source, and what's the evidence, and the concluding sentence, so that I can see that you are following. But we're not going to do this today. For next time, it's very important to attend class, and please tell your colleagues that, because we will be starting to practice for the final presentation. And I'm going to tell you how we are going to do a final presentation in this wonderful circumstances.
اوكي
Okay.
احنا ده هنعمله امتى يعني لما نرجع؟
No, we will
أمال
do
إيه؟
it. We will do it inshallah, and I'm going to tell you that in details next time. But as a beginning, we are going to do a PowerPoint presentation that is recorded.
Okay.
A recorded PowerPoint presentation and then submit it. But we need to practice for that first, and I need to show you how to record a PowerPoint and what to do exactly.
طب هو ايه
اوكي
التوبيك
المفروض
اللي احنا
ان
هنعمل عليه presentation؟
The presentation is your final paper.
اها يعني انا المفروض ابدا فيها من دلوقتي.
Yeah, you're presenting your final paper, but it's going to be short. It's not going to be more than 5-7 slides maximum.
اوكي تمام.
Okay.
طيب هو احنا المفروض هنسلم اصلا ال essay اللي هي 1200 كلمة دي امتى؟ الديدلاين
الساعة
بتاعها.
5.
اوكي. والpresentation
We'll start doing the presentations inshallah. I will schedule for a presentation and I will divide the class into people and I will post the schedule on e-learning for each group to present and practice. But then I think we will be doing the presentations mid-April.
اوكي يعني قبل ما نسلم اصلا
Yes.
last
Yes. It's not going to be about the whole essay. It's just going to be like a brief thing.
I have a question.
Yes, sure.
The presentation. احنا هنسجلها في البيت وبعدين هنبعتها؟
Yes.
تمام.
You will send it to Turnitin. You will submit it on Turnitin. Okay.
That sounds good.
Next time, inshallah, I will show you how to record a presentation and what do we need to do in this presentation and how we will practice for it. And I'll give you topics to practice for presentations, and then you can send me your practiced PowerPoint and we discuss it here in class and tell you what's wrong, what's right with it, and give you feedback.
Okay.
Okay, so don't worry at all. Do I have other questions?
هنحاول.
والله
ما اقدرش اوعدك بصراحة.
I know that you are really stressed. I know that you are really stressed and pressured, and you have so many things to do, and you are doing it in an unusual way, not the way you are used to. I know, I really know all that, and don't worry.
وانا عارف ان هي بجاحة قوي، بس انا فعلا كنت بخطط ان انا اشوف هجيب كام في 80% الباقيين، ولو لقيت نفسي نجحت او جبت جريد معين كنت ممكن اطنش برزنتيشن. انا كده عديت، بس مش هينفع. طب والله بتكلم بجد.
Well, I can tell you something.
ايوه
I can tell you that you will learn through practice to do things you never imagined that you were going to do, but then you will learn something.
والله عارف يعني هو اصلا يعني هو الانجليش عامل لي ازمه، بس ستيل بتعلم منه وبيفيدني يعني.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to do my best to reach out for you.
والله عارف، والله يعني حتى بقول الجروب انت بتعمل عليها وزياده، بتحاول قدر الامكان
جدا على اللي
تساعدنا.
بتعمليه فعلا.
لا والله
والله بقول لهم من غير حاجه يعني، فهو يعني ربنا يشهد.
By the way, I'm doing my job and I'm not doing anything extra. It's just my job. And I know that you are stressed. I have kids like you at home, and I have online classes every day for my kids as well and assessments. ولسه هنروح انا بقى لسه عندنا مشروع البحث بتاع الوزارة ده عشان انا عندي اعدادية كمان.
لا ربنا مع حضرتك بقى.
فيعني I really feel for you and I know what you are through, and I really don't do يعني I just want to assure you that I'm not trapping you. I have no intention to fail anybody as long as you're working.
أنا يخليكي والله.
Okay.
And I know the circumstances, so don't worry. Just let's do our job, and things inshallah are going to be good.
إن شاء الله.
Don't worry, wallahi, it's not, I'm not going to evaluate you as professionals. I know that at the end of the day, you are students and you're doing it for the first time.
احنا هنبهر حضرتك اكيد ان شاء الله.
يا رب. درجة. وانا والله I'm trying my best.
لا ما تخافيش.
والله يعني احنا باين والله، وفعلا احنا بينا وبين بعض يعني ربنا يعلم بنقول ايه على مجهود حضرتك يعني.
ربنا يخليك.
والله فعلا.
ربنا يخليك. خلاص، فما تقلقوش، هنعملها one step at a time and we will practice. يعني don't worry at all. I had so many ideas in my mind that I want to make it the easiest way.
Okay.
تمام إن شاء الله.
Okay, so don't worry. If you have any questions anytime, don't hesitate to email me or leave a question on the chat room. And I really respond to questions. Don't worry about that.
تمام. Okay.
تمام ماشي.
Okay, I think we are done for today, and we are going to be meeting on Sunday, next Sunday at 11 a.m.
Okay.
إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله. Best of luck إن شاء الله. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
ماشي.
Bye.
شكرا يا دكتور.
Bye.
باي.
يا معاك تشي.